Hi there. Hope you're having a great day today. Thank you so much for joining in. So, today I'm looking at giving you a quality session. So, without any compromise, let's get started. All right. Today is the day 4, okay, in reference to the grammar series given by GKPro, completely free on YouTube. In the last class, we learned present perfect tense, right? Now, that tense was about, past action plus a result oriented circumstance. All right. For example, I have finished my work. Okay, that's what we kind of spoke about in the last session. That is the past action plus the result depending on the circumstance or the situation. Now, today we are going to get one step ahead. How? Today we are learning present perfect continuous, and that is the name of the tool, all right, in reference to the grammar series today. So, present perfect continuous, okay? This is what we are going to talk about. And this tense is not about finished. It's not about some action that is already finished. Why? Very basic point, or very basic point that you really need to keep in mind is because of this word, that is continuous. All right, so keep in mind, guys, that present perfect continuous means it is not related to any action that is finished. This tense is about time and duration. All right, it's unlike present perfect where time is not that important. However, this tense is about time and duration alone. Okay, I cannot say alone, but yes, it's a part of it because it is continuous. That it's getting into a certain situation where this particular activity is continuing. All right. So what it helps you to do now, we need to understand what exactly this tense is all about. Okay, this helps you or you can use it, rather you can use it when you talk about an action that has started in the past, okay, and is still continuing now. It's pretty simple, right, to understand. Present perfect continuous, so something has happened in the past and it is still continuing. All right, so where you can use them: real life situations, like ongoing actions with the duration, with these special words, those are for and since. Okay, ongoing actions like particular for a particular duration, like for and since. I'll let you know how you exactly use them in sentences over more. All right, we'll just look at that later. Let's kind of try to understand first of all, like where we can use this grammatical tool. So, temporary work or study, all right, happening these days. All right, great. Now, next is explaining tiredness. Why would you be tired all of a sudden? Why would you be tired? Because you would be tired because you've been doing something in the past and it is still continuing. Am I clear? Am I clear? You are doing a certain work or something that you're working on from a long time in the past, but still that particular activity is not finished, it's not completed. So there is a sense of tiredness in people, right? So explaining tiredness on the basis of these results that are ongoing because of long duration. All right, all right, because of long duration. Now that is where you'll be looking at using present perfect continuous. So I hope I have been, clear here. I'm going to move on to part 2 for today. Okay, and that is when to use it. When to use it. This also I like to kind of address it as decision trigger, in the sense when a person knows when to use the correct tense, it actually helps that person to sound improved, along with confidence kicks in. So decision trigger is a very important part that you really need to keep your ears open to when I'm talking about it. All right, use it when the action has started earlier and still is going on. I already spoke about it here, however I'm reinforcing this. Okay, when to use it so that you kind of it's easy for you to remember. All right, it's easy for you to remember, and then you start your thinking process or articulation process or making sentences. So when you're clear when to use this particular tense, you will understand it automatically. Great, let's go on. So if you want to show duration, like how long, what are the words I told you? The words that you can use is for or since. Okay. Next, if you want to explain a present result like tiredness, all right, and you use time words like, again, for, since, okay, all day, lately, or recently. All right, great. So this is where you're going to be using or taking the decision to use present perfect continuous as your grammatical tool for perfect communication. All right, now let's look at another very important point. Where exactly you do not use it. Okay, this is more important, guys. So where you don't use present perfect continuous is when the action is completely finished or there is no chance or no room for continuation. There you're not going to be using present, okay, perfect, okay, continuous. You will not be using this particular tense when your action has already finished. Do not use this. You only want to say completed. Okay, if you only want to say that the action is completed, then you use present perfect. The last lesson, okay, we spoke about this particular grammatical tool in detail in the last lesson. Okay, the next part is the present perfect continuous tense, where I'm kind of showing you a clear difference when you kind of have to use present perfect and when you're kind of looking at using present perfect continuous as your grammatical tool. Okay, now when you want to say something is totally completed, then you use this tense. If you have not seen this particular lesson, please go ahead and start from day one itself, because it's a clear detailed explanation of every tense and you will be able to understand it perfectly. Okay, next is, you talk about permanent habits. When permanent habits come in, obviously you cannot use something that is in continuation. I hope you understand. When permanent habits come in, you cannot use present perfect continuous as your tense. You should obviously be using simple present. Okay, we have completed that also. Please go ahead and look at that video as well. Now this section, all right, please look at the screen. This section is very important to me, at least. I'll let you know why. I'll let you know why. You know why? Because because this shortcut question you will be asking yourself: am I focusing on how long the action is happening? Okay, am I focusing on how long the action is happening? If yes, then you have to use present perfect continuous. Now if it is no, in the sense you're not focusing on telling how long the action is happening, if the answer is a no, then please do not use present perfect continuous. You kind of going to be using either present perfect, okay, or present continuous. That's not present perfect continuous. Okay, all right, I hope I'm clear here. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and let you know what exactly is the meaning of meaning first. Okay, it's very simple, guys. Oh, there's a heart that is like formed. All right, great. Okay, meaning first. What do you mean by meaning first? I kind of reinforce this particular information in every lesson that I have taken in reference to grammar series till now. Now, meaning first means that you really do not have to go on the form. In the sense, you just have to take the meaning in plain English. Okay, listen to this. Present perfect continuous. That's it. Something that had started before, that is present perfect, and it is still happening now, that is continuous. I think it's pretty easy to understand it that way rather than kind of going on to those tense charts and by hearting or memorizing those formulas that they give in those small boxes. Yes, that's important, but if you can kind of wrap your head around this practical theory, where I'm just going to focus on the meaning first than taking the form into consideration. So this is the way out. What is the way out? You just have to exactly convert the meaning of present perfect continuous. So present perfect, it has started before. Continuous, it means it's still happening now. Great, right? If it's continuing, then I'm going to show the time as well. right? If it is continuing, then I will add a time as well. Now, this is happening for a long duration. Yes, then I'm going to be using this tool, that is present perfect continuous. If the action is happening for a long duration, also I'm going to be talking in this tense only. All right. If the action has finished, I'm going to probably use, in terms of the present series, I'm going to use present perfect. Now, if something is continuing in the present time, I'm going to use present continuous. Now, if something has already happened before, but still it is continuing, only then I'm kind of going to use present perfect continuous. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Okay. Not going to kind of repeat this concept again, because again and again I have been reinforcing that same point. I hope it doesn't, I don't want to, or I don't intend to kind of make this lesson boring for you all. So I'm just going to move ahead. All right. So look at this section as well. It'll help you to kind of remember or memorize the theory behind using present perfect continuous as your tool. So if something that is ongoing, something that is time focused or duration focused, so something that is more natural for daily life, these kind of activities call for using present perfect continuous. Okay. Remember, ongoing action that is continuing should be time focused. You can use these two words if they are you know your time words like for, since, all day, lately, recently, etc. Okay. Then a mini example for this particular tense is I have been studying for 2 hours. Okay. Let me tell you another thing here is that this particular word been has to come in play when you're looking at using present perfect continuous, guys. So this is a formula. As I told you, these you can find it on internet as well. This is not a structure, it's just a formula that you need to keep in mind. So let's build the structure first. Let's see how it actually works. Obviously it is subject. Okay, subject is our protagonist, in the sense it's the main player of the game, or the main character in the story. All right. So subject. Okay. Have or has been plus verb in the ing form. I told you that whenever there is this word continuous, okay, then this ing form comes into being. It becomes your friend for the hour. All right. So subject have or has plus been, okay, plus verb should be in the ing form because continuous obviously. And this is optional again. For or since, okay, plus the time. All right. So let's look at an example. I is the subject. Have, you can see here, have is the auxiliary verb. Okay. Or you can also call it as, helping verb. Yes. I have been. Been is our friend. Working since morning. Since. Since morning. Since I told you is a time word. Since morning. Correct? I think I'm pretty clear here, right? Now let's take a closer look. What do I mean by that? Part one is your subject. It can be I, you, we, they, she, it, they, everything. Okay, all these are subjects, are main players in the story. Part two is have or has is the are the only two auxiliary verbs that come into picture when you're looking at using the short form. I'm just going to write when you're looking at using. You guys have to kind of tell it to yourself what this means. PPC. What is PPC now? What is it? What are we talking about? Which tense are we talking about? We are obviously talking about this tense, present perfect continuous, PPC, right? PPC. Okay, right. So, whenever you are using PPC, you are going to look at using two auxiliary helping verbs. Those are have and has. Okay. Part three is, as I told you, our friend been plus verb and a verb in the ing form, ing form. And the last part is the duration. For, since, all day, recently. You can use anything really. Now let's look at a small rule here, guys. A very small rule. It's known as the have or has rule. Okay. Nothing to be overwhelmed here, or when I say have or has rule, it's nothing. It is just a very small alteration to the concept of using have or has. When are we going to use have or has? That's it. Why? It is directly connected to your protagonist. And what is protagonist? Your subject. Okay, let's see. Now, if your subject is I, you, we, or they, you will use have been. If it is he, she, or it, you will use has been. Can you remember this for me? This is the only part. This is the only part you might have to remember, guys. Okay, this is the only part you might have to remember. Okay, so let me try to draw a box here. Yeah, great. So this is the only part that you might have to remember, that is have or has rule. If your subject is I, you, we, and they, you'll be looking at using have been. If your subject is he, she, or it, you're going to be looking at using has been. Keep that in mind. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the negative format. Now, what is negative format? See, present perfect continuous can also be used in a negative form. That is when not comes in. Okay, when the word not comes in. What is the word? When the word not. I'm going to try to write with this. Okay, when the word not comes in is when your negative form starts. Now, what is a negative form? Let's look at the basic structure. Obviously, your subject comes in first. Now, haven't is what? Have not. Hasn't is what? Has not. Been is always going to be there. Okay. Plus verb in the ing form. Example, I have not. Haven't can also be, opened up to have not. All right. So, I haven't been sleeping well. Been and sleeping. Verb in the ing form. Been. Okay. Been is corrected here. It's been used here. Okay. So this is the correct form. I haven't been sleeping well. She, when I told, she comes in, I told you just here, no, where was that? Where was that? Rule, yeah. So see here. If it is he, she, and it, you will use, what are you going to use? You're going to use has been. So she has not, this is a negative form. She has not been coming to class. Okay, or you can pronounce this has not as hasn't. Hasn't. You can try after me as well if you want. Haven't. What is this? Haven't. Pause the video here. Pause the video here, guys. Pause the video. Very important, okay? Very important. Keep in your mind. All right. Pause the video here. Try to shadow after me along with the pronunciation that I'm kind of using to read out the sentence. I haven't been sleeping well. Try to copy my tone as well. She hasn't been coming to class. Okay, these are the two negative forms that I kind of just reinforced here. Moving on to question form, guys. Now this is important. This is important. Why? I'll let you know. Something special is going on here. Okay, I love drawing these small icons on the screen. I feel it's fun. So beautiful. Okay, at least to me it looks beautiful. Okay, great. So question form. What is the question form? There's some change if you look at this format here. Look at this format, guys. Look at the format, or look at the highlighted section here. Please look at it once. Try to again pause and try to think what exactly is the problem here. I'm just going to get a sip of water for myself till you do that. Okay, now if you've done it, great. If you've analyzed the problem, greater. Okay, so the problem is not exactly a problem, it's a solution to sound better. All right, see what has happened here. The subject is moved to the second position and your auxiliary verb. But look at this form. Look at this form, guys. Look at the negative form. Subject is here. Haven't or hasn't is here. Okay. In the second place. The auxiliary verbs are in the second place. But when a question form comes in, how are you going to look at using PPC? That is present perfect continuous. Is by sending have and has. Okay. Kind of telling them go and take the first place now. I'm the subject, I'm the main character of the story, but it's okay. I'm going to move to the second place now. It's okay because it is a question form. Remember that. Okay, great. So have, has plus subject comes to the second, been and verb in the ing form, obviously, because it is continuous tense. So have, you is the subject, right? So it is in the second place now. Only in the question form, guys. Keep it in mind, only in the question form. Okay, don't forget this, please. Don't forget this. So have, has, subject plus been in the ing form. All right. So the sentence is, have you been waiting long? Or has she been studying? Has she been studying? Okay. So this is the question format for you in reference to PPC, otherwise known as present perfect continuous. Let's look at three core patterns, most common uses. That's it. How are you going to do it? Okay, it's the easiest way to speak. Okay, this particular tense, if you kind of wrap your heads around the three core patterns that we are looking at explaining today. Great, beautiful circle. Okay, now pattern one is the most basic. Okay, when you really want to kind of sound really basic, you can use pattern one. And what is the pattern one? I have been. I know it's I. That is why the subject is I. So have been, have is selected. Okay. So I have been verbing for plus time. Verbing in the sense, verb should be in the ing form, not like you can really verb through something. Okay. It's just the formula. So I have been verbing for that period of time. What is your verb here? What is your verb? I have been learning English for 3 months. For for 3 months. Okay. He has been working for 5 hours. All right. Let's go on to pattern two. Pattern two is somehow more natural. Why? Because it starts with the word that we are going to select to show the time duration is a since. See, remember, since is used to kind of refer to a starting point. All right. For here is used for the time, like long duration of time. Let's show how it actually feels. I'll just show it out to you. Wait. Yeah, here. I have been studying since 6 a.m. Since means what? 6 a.m. the activity has started. That is why I'm using since. Why? Because studying started at 6. So I'm using since. I'm not going to say something like, I have been studying for 6 a.m. Can I say that? Does it even sound right? Can I use for here? Imagine using I have been studying for 6 a.m. Okay? Shouldn't be doing that. Right. Next, she has been living here for 2020. No. She has been living here since starting. Okay, since 2022. All right. She started living at that particular premises or that particular place since 2022. Okay. Great. Pattern 3. What's pattern 3? To sound advanced. Okay. You're going to be using those time words that I really told you about. Like really, I'm sorry, recently, lately. Okay. Things like that. So I have been feeling tired. You can just stop here. You can actually stop here, but then I choose to add this word lately, which emphasizes the whole sentence again. Okay, so they have been traveling recently. What? They have been traveling recently. All right, great. Now, just a small, bonus fluency pattern, that is, if you really want to use that's why, that also can be used. That's why can be an extension like, I have been working all day. That's why, that's why I am tired. All right. All right. Are you getting it? You can use that's why and extend the sentence. Or you can just stop it here. You can stop it here as well. You can just say, I have been working all day. If you want to kind of extend using this particular phrase, that is, that's why, you're going to use it like this. I have been working all day. That's why I'm tired. This makes you sound very natural and fluent. That's why it's known as the advanced or the stronger version of this particular tense. Let's look at some examples, okay? Or also known as real life model lines. All right, just for giving you a clarity or just so that you can wrap your heads around with this concept of using present perfect continuous clearly. I have been waiting for, okay, for 10 minutes. All right. Not since 10 minutes. Please don't do that. It's for 10 minutes because it's a duration. Okay. Next, I have been feeling sleepy since morning. Where since, since means it has started at that point of time. Since morning, you're feeling sleepy. Okay. Related to daily life. Now, work or office. I have been working on this report all day. Okay. She has been. So I think I'm clear. I takes have, she takes has. Okay. She has been Verb in the ing form, attending. She has been attending meeting since 11 a.m. Why? Because it started at 11 a.m. Correct. Now I think I'm clear when to use since and when to use for. For is for a duration of time. Since you are going to use when some activity started in your life. All right. Great. What's up? Sorry, I have been driving. What have you been doing today? That's also a kind of a present perfect continuous kind of a question, right? See here, auxiliary verb has come first. I told you in the question format here, right? When you're looking at this question form, your auxiliary verb comes in first, then your subject. Okay, so that's what it means. Have you been doing today? What have you been doing today? All right, great. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on to take a very close look at another important, you know, point or, another important section that is known as the contrast corner. What is contrast corner? Just to show you the difference between other tenses and present perfect continuous. Okay. Now, this tense gets confused with two things, that is present perfect, all right, and present continuous. I hope I'm clear. It gets confused with two other tenses, that is present perfect or present continuous. So let's look at a difference in one line. Present perfect is used when an action is completed and the result has been achieved now. Okay, I spoke about this earlier in the last lesson. Now, present perfect continuous is always used when an ongoing action is happening. Okay, there was an action that is kind of started in the past and it's taking time to complete and it is ongoing and it is duration based or duration focused. Now, when is present continuous used? You might think, when is present continuous used? When present perfect continuous also has a sense of or a tint of present continuous in it. All right. Let me tell you, when present continuous comes into play, your action is happening right now. There's no strong duration that is involved. All right. But when you're using present perfect continuous, your ongoing action has already started in the past and it is continuing with a particular sense of time duration. But here in your present continuous, no strong duration, really is to be seen. Let's take a look at an example pair. You'll understand it. Now, see, I have finished my work. This is completed. Okay, I have finished my work. Completed. I have been doing my work for 2 hours. Okay, this is present perfect. This first sentence is present perfect sentence. So we can just call it as PP, present perfect, present perfect. Okay, I have finished. The work is completed. Now the second one, the second sentence, I have been doing my work. So this work has started in the past, right? It has started in the past and for 2 hours. Do you think the work has been completed? Has the work been completed? No. My work, okay, see here, I have been doing my work for 2 hours. That is duration. Still the sentence doesn't claim that the action has been it's done, or if the action is already completed, the sentence doesn't claim that particular situation. It says that a particular action has started, a particular work just started in the past and it has been going on for 2 hours. Still we don't know how many more hours the work will take to completely finish. All right, so that is where you're using your pp, present perfect continuous, that is your ppc. This is your ppc very clearly. Okay, this is your ppc. What is this? ppc. Very good. Okay, this is not looking very nice, but then too. Okay, so this is your ppc. Now I'm doing my work now. Do you think that the action has kind of happened in the past? No, it is kind of happening right now. So I'm doing my work now. That is right now, right? Great. Let's look at some common mistakes for today. In the sense, when you're using present perfect continuous, there are some mistakes that you commit when you're using this particular tense. Now, this is very important to understand because some learners use this tense when they should use present perfect or simple past. Okay, this topic is going to come next, in relation to the past series. However, I have to talk about past tense also here because many people try to use present perfect continuous when they have to kind of use simple past or past perfect. Okay, let's look at some examples. See, I told you, look at this part. Okay, the present perfect continuous does not usually work in situations when we are describing a result. When we are describing a result, we are using pp, that is present perfect. Instead, we use past simple or present perfect. Let's look at some examples. All right, now if you're looking at the example on your screen, you can just kind of pause the video. You just have to pause the video and try to wrap your head around this concept what I just spoke about. However, I'm just going to go on and exactly help you to understand what I mean. See this statement. Andy was very happy this morning when his boss has been promoting him. No, no one can be in the process of promoting, right? Right? It's a result. It's a result. So what are you going to use? You're going to use simple past. Why? Because the promotion has already been done. So Andy was very happy this morning when his boss promoted him. You're not going to be using pp, you're not going to be using ppc, that is you're not going to be using present perfect continuous. Many people try to use present perfect continuous to talk or to form sentences which really directly look at giving you results. All right. The result has already been taken care of. That is, Andy was very happy this morning when his boss promoted him. The next sentence here is our netball team has been achieving promotion to the highest league. That is incorrect. Why? The result has already been achieved, so it is present perfect. Let's read the sentence with the correct form or the correct type of tense. That is, our netball team has achieved promotion to the highest league. Okay, great. So has achieved is what? Present perfect tense. Okay, the second type of common mistake is using present perfect continuous with non-continuous verbs and mixed verbs. Let me tell you what it means. Okay, let me tell you what it means. What is non-continuous or mixed verbs, you might be thinking. Let's read it out. Okay, I think that would be a bit of the better understanding side. All right, see, non-continuous verbs are a class of verbs that cannot be used with with any continuous tense. There are certain action words that cannot be used with any continuous tense. These are usually verbs that describe things you cannot physically see, like abstract things in the sense like you cannot physically see them, like owning something or feeling something towards someone or tending, things like that. All right, so mixed verbs are another class of verbs that have multiple meanings as well. I'll let you know through a set of examples. In general, the present perfect continuous cannot be used with non-continuous or mixed verb. Just remember that. I will jump into the examples right now. So incorrect form, I our family have been owning. See, owning is a mixed verb in the sense, this cannot be seen by a physical eye, right? Owning the house is not physical. You cannot see someone doing this activity. Okay, like playing, swimming, eating, dancing. All these are physical verbs, like you can see them. But owning is an abstract sense of a verb because you cannot actually see this action, right? So here you cannot be using present perfect continuous. All right. So our family have been owning this house for 40 years. It's incorrect. You have to go ahead and use present perfect tense. Why? Because the action is completed, guys. It's completed. Someone has owned this. Okay. It's result oriented. Try and understand this concept when I say it's result oriented. Also, I reinforced a lot of times in my previous lesson as well. Our family have owned this house for 40 years. Present perfect tense, and that is correct. Now, let's look at another small example. I have been having a cold for a week now. It's incorrect. We can't use present perfect continuous here. We cannot use it here. I'm trying to write again here. PPC means present perfect continuous. We cannot use it here. Why? Because having, all right, having is a sense of kind of having it in yourself. Other people can't see that. All right, so I have been having a cold for a week now. It's incorrect. So what are you going to do? You're kind of going to, prefer using present perfect tense. That is, I have had a cold for a week now. All right, have. Don't look at this part, okay? Don't look at had as the auxiliary verb. Have, okay? Have for present perfect tense as well. I have had a cold for a week now. Let's look at the third incorrect or common mistakes that people kind of really do when they're using present perfect continuous. Okay, now using present perfect continuous instead of present continuous, many people use do this also. So learners will say something using present perfect continuous where they actually should use present continuous. Okay, so present continuous, when is it used? When action is happening now, not that the action has already started before and it is continuing now. Only then only then you are going to be kind of using present perfect continuous. So I have been playing football. What? I have been playing football with my friends right now. So this is something that is happening now, right? So you should be kind of looking at using which tool? You should be looking at using which tool? You should be looking at using present continuous, guys, right? Present continuous. All right. Now, I am playing football with my friends right now. Right? Now, that is present continuous for you. All right. So, do not use present perfect continuous when the action is happening right now, presently. You're going to be using present continuous, not present perfect continuous. Okay. Let's look at another example for now. Turn that music down. I have been reading my book. No, turn that music down. I have been reading my book. You're reading the book now. You have not started it just a few hours ago, right? You are kind of reading the book right now. So this is again, you have to not use present perfect continuous. You have to use present continuous only. How would it sound if you will be using present continuous? It will sound like this. See, turn that music down. I'm reading my book. That's it. This is present continuous. I plus am and plus, okay, reading my book. Present continuous. Okay, great. Now that's the correct format. Let's look at mistake number four, or a pretty common mistake many people do. So using present perfect continuous instead of present, I'm sorry, using past perfect continuous. Okay, using past perfect continuous instead of present perfect continuous. Okay, it's another common mix-up. All right, I'm directly going to jump to the examples. Why this often happens when describing current situations where past narrative tone is mistakenly used. All right, so finally, my friend had been opening up to me. Had been opening up to me. No, first of all, had will not come into picture when we are using PPC, right? Only have and has comes, right? When PPC is used, when present perfect continuous is used, only have and has comes up. Now, this sentence in the correct form is going to be it's going to be like this, like shown on the screen. Finally, my friend has been opening up to me more about his future plan. Okay, all right. Now, this is something that you need to kind of wrap your heads around because it's still continuing now. So we use has been because, okay, we are going to use this because it is still being continuing now. In the sense it's a continuous action. All right, so the friend was there, he was talking continuously, but now he has been opening up to that particular person. All right, great. Now see, this is past perfect continuous. This form had been is past perfect continuous in the sense this kind of doesn't fit the bill when the action is still continuing. So you will be using this sentence. All right, great. Let's look at mistake number 5 for today. Placing certain adverbs incorrectly. Now, this is also pretty common with the intermediate level of users as well sometimes, or intermediate low in the sense, there are like beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. So each level has two other levels, that is low, that is very low beginner, high beginner, low intermediate, high intermediate, low advanced, and high advanced as well. So many people who are at that particular stage, also known as the low intermediate, kind of use, go wrong sometimes in the process of placing their adverbs incorrectly. All right, let's look at that. It means position of your adverbs. Adverbs are the friends of verbs. All right, let's see. When using present perfect continuous tense, adverbs such as only, always, still, never can be placed between to, have, and been. Let's see how it sounds actually. Okay. Um, I'm not going to kind of really, use all complicated words and try to make you understand this. I just want you to look at the sentences right now in the form of given examples. Okay. My favorite band have been touring for 1 week only in the UK. Just think about it. Does it even sound right? No. Only has to be moved. Only has to be moved between have and been. Please remember that. Only has to be moved between have, auxiliary verb, and been. Like, my favorite band have only been touring for 1 week in the UK. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the second example for today. All right. Despite a cut hand, Dave has been still playing guitar this week. Many people use this. Many of them go wrong at using, these adverbs. Adverbs means what? Playing, playing's friend. Okay, verb's friend. Now, just imagine if you read the sentence also, it sounds correct. However, to let you know it's incorrect. Why? Look at this. I will read it out. Still, it sounds correct because it sounds correct to me as well. Okay. See, despite a cut hand, Dave has been still playing his guitar this week. Where would you think that this is wrong? But guys, always remember when you're using words or adverbs like still, only, you know, what were the things? Yeah, never, can be, only, always. Okay. This has to be moved in between the auxiliary verb and the been word. So, despite a cut hand, Dave has still, see, Dave has still been playing guitar this week. Correct? Correct? Did you get it? If you didn't, I would just request you to kind of rewind the video or just go back for a little time. Uh, Try to understand what I'm telling. Okay. See, I could go on repeating the same thing. However, it's of no use. I'm just going to kind of go ahead. You have to do it here. You have to go back and try to connect with me and try to understand what exactly I am kind of talking about. Yes. Let's go on to the practice ladder. Here again, one of my favorite sections. I would want you to pause the video. All right. Pause the video and please try to finish this particular section on your own. I have been, already the work has been done. All right. I have been dash for a dash. Just form the sentences. Okay. She has been dash for a dash. A since dash. Since. Okay. In the sense, this is a starting point, starting of some activity. Since is used when you are starting a particular activity at some time. I have not, negative statement. I have not been dash lately. Okay. Have you been dashed today? Now, have, when does auxiliary verb come before the main character? It happens only in the question format. They have been dash all day. Okay. Great. Another guided practice session where you're going to convert to present perfect continuous. What are you going to convert? I am studying now. It is in present continuous tense. Convert it to this somehow. Okay. Pause the video and do the same. Take the time to do all these activities during listening to this session or whilst you're listening to these lessons. Do that. Do not go out of the lesson and then try to recollect everything. I somehow think that's not going to work out. You really need to pause the video whilst the lesson is going on so that you can truly connect with me on that level. Okay, great. Make it negative means use kind of use that not word, not. Okay, he has been working. All right, great. Make it a question or form a question using this. You have been waiting. Remember, when you're forming a question, your subject moves to the second place. Your auxiliary verbs comes here. Your subject comes here. Okay, great. Now, a personalized section. What do you mean by personalized section? Something that you feel about yourself. Okay, so one line in regards with duration about you. I have been dash for dash. Anything that is in regards with you only. I want you to kind of pause the video and talk about you, whatever you are into. Okay, whatever you are doing right now. Whatever you are doing right now, you try to convert it into present perfect continuous tense. I have been dash for dash. One line about today, since morning. Use the word since morning. You have to read all this or speak all this aloud. In the sense, you have to talk it out. I have been dash since morning. One line explaining a result. What do you mean by result? Explaining. I have been dash, that's why. I told you you can use that's why and extend your sentence. Advanced form. Then pause the video very clearly here. Please do that. Okay, here you have to pause the video if you have not done it before. So what you're going to do is speak 6 lines using present perfect continuous tense. I have been learning English for 2 months. I have been practicing speaking every day. I have been watching grammar videos lately. I have been writing notes since morning. See, started in the morning. That's why using since. And why do you use for, sorry. Why do you use for? Because it's a longer time. Okay, can you remember that? Can you remember that? Can you remember that? Yes, you can, I guess. Okay, great. Let's look at this. I haven't been wasting time these days. Haven't, not format. Not your negative sentence using PPC, that is present perfect continuous. I have been improving step by step. Okay, I think I'm pretty clear. I think it's really very easy to understand when to use PPC, that is present perfect continuous. As I told you that you really need to practice, and that is what matters, because only when you practice you will know, guys, that what I'm doing is right or what I'm doing is wrong, because it doesn't happen overnight, right? Do you think it happens overnight? Nothing happens overnight. You really really need to go ahead and kind of wrap your heads around the learning section or the practice session or the strategies that I already shared with you in the previous lessons also are all revolving around practicing during the lessons as well. That is what I keep telling you. Please do this. Pause the video and do what I tell you to do. Okay, great. So speak 6 line using this tense, guys. PPC, present perfect continuous. Great. Okay, let's move on. A simple self-check session. Okay, a small section here. What exactly it is? To see whether you have used this, after doing this task, that is 40-second speaking, you just have to look at your sentences and give it a checklist. And what is it? Did I use have or has plus been correctly? Did I add the verb in the ing form because it is continuous tense? Did I use for and since properly? Look at the sentences that you've already written and give it a quick check. Is the action continuing till now? Only then you're going to use PC, my friends. Okay, great, good. So if you've already done that and you kind of got all your answers correct after checking your answers or after going through your responses, then great job. Otherwise, do it at your leisure. All right. So a small recap for you. Use present perfect continuous. Okay, when action has started in the past, correct? Okay, just meaning oriented here it is, all right, and it's still continuing, all right, and you want to show how long also. Great. The next tool that we are going to be talking about is simple past. We are starting the past series. Okay, this was the present series. All the tenses related to present have been completed after today. Now tomorrow or probably on Monday you will be kind of looking at simple past as your grammar tool in learning. Okay, A simple call to action, guys. Practice 5 sentences using for and since, okay, and speak them daily or use them daily, and try to form sentences only in regards to present perfect continuous. And please be mindful when you're forming the structure. Even if you're taking time to form the structure, it's okay. Just to kind of let you know again, if you're learning, okay, if you're learning with us on YouTube, this lesson is a part of our free grammar series. If you want guided practice and step by step confidence building, you can always join us through the free course link in the description. Remember, start free, continue only when you feel ready, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.